Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, to another installment. Well, I won't say first ever installment, but an installment of the Alamonte Show, exclusively pissed. I was trying to do the intro, so bear with me just a little bit. So I'm sorry for all that. But then hopefully all y'all days are doing great, doing fine. And I'm also here with a special guest, but let me do the intro first because I cannot do this like this. So let's get this done right. And welcome. Now, see, that's how you're supposed to do an intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is, and Facebook user, what's up? Hey, what's up? Well, first of all, before I go on to introduce myself, let me be the Southern gentleman and let me introduce y'all. Y'all heard about her on Wednesday. She's back. Anita Jope. I said your name right for the first time. Did I say your name right? Please tell me I said your name right.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
for bringing me back on your show. I
Yes.
really enjoyed it. One thing that I want to say to your audience, and this is one thing that I want everyone to know, that as a teacher and a professor of history, I am an expert in history as well as I am opinionated. But one of the things that I've always utilized in my classroom is the open space for everyone to share their opinion, whether they agree with me or not. It does not ruffle my feathers if you have a different opinion, because if we all had the same opinion, we would not be the diverse nation that we are. So I just wanted to start out with opening the floor for freedom of speech.
And ladies and gentlemen, she is not lying about that. Being one of her old students, she is not lying about that. And also, y'all know me on the show. I'm open to anybody, open to a dialogue for you to and she just popped off. I mean, literally just popped up, but she'll be back. But yes, to have a dialogue on this show. So the main goal for this show is that we get to the solution. But first, we gotta get to the problem. Now, it's all right. She's back. You just gonna leave me like that? Oh my gosh, you hurt my feelings.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to switch the screen around and it backed out. So I'm
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. So what I was telling everybody is basically we're going to talk about the problems. I think that's the biggest issue that is going on in America right now. We can sit there and say it's racism, but we never get into the conversation about it. And then there's justice and injustice. And basically, when is enough is enough. And we need to start getting into the details of it rather than just basically saying it is what it is. You got to ask, what is it? What is it? We need to talk about it. And then also, not only just the problem, we also have to come to a solution. Get to solutions that, okay, we may not, when we run into this problem, we know how to deal with it and take care of it. So that is my opening. What we're going to do first is dissect this video. Now, I'm going to give you a backstory on this on this video that we're about to see. Now, he is a black conservative. He actually on I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. He was with a group of black conservatives that actually had a live stream on Zoom. And let's say I wish I had the video of that. Let's say it didn't go as planned. I'm not going to spoil too much of this video that we're about to see, but we're going to go through this video step by step. When anytime we hear any bullshit, either you tell me to stop or I'm going to stop if I catch any. Deal?
Okay.
All right, cool. And just to be clear and be for real, I had not seen this video. I believe Anita, she did not miss Jope. I mean, Morris, you know better. Miss Jope, or as I call her, Cheech. I'm taking it that you never seen this video before.
At this point, no, I don't even know the video that that you're referring to. So
okay. So right there is your evidence that we have not seen this video. So we're going to be watching this all together, and we taking it that this is your first time seeing this video as well. So let's get into it. Enough of our talking. Let's play the video. I won't say beautiful being footage, but okay. Here we go.
This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and let's get into this.
Hold up. Since you're going to sit there and go throw an advertisement, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune into my interview with Beast Johnson on the 17th of this Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't forget to tune in. Beast Johnson, he's an independent music star. Tune in. This time will be the Alamonte Show. It's not going to be Alamonte Show. Excuse pissed. Tune in. 5 p.m. Pacific time. All the other time zones, get in where you fit in. Cheech, you got any advertisement you want to send out there to everybody?
no.
Oh, okay. Her advertisement is no, because no means no. Let's get back into this video.
So here are some updates in Ahmaud Arbery's case that a lot of people may not like because people have jumped to conclusions and picked a side before any of this stuff came out. And now many people are going to walk around with an egg on their face when I told people very vividly and clearly to wait before you pick a side. You don't need to be pro McMichael. You don't need to be pro Arbery. You need to be pro facts.
And I'm gonna stop right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
And then also, I'm telling you this to teach. Here's what the issue I have when I hear about facts. I did a show on this about, I think I did last month. Facts is not the truth. Facts is what leads to truth. And one thing people do not understand is facts do change. Facts do change. Like I use this example. I keep using this till I'm freaking blue in the face. Like let's use Walmart. Let's say you use, let's say Anita Street. You use Anita Street to get to Walmart. Me, I use Morris Avenue to get to Walmart. See, those is examples of the facts because both of those streets lead to Walmart. The truth is, at the end of that street, Walmart's going to be there. The truth never changes. So when I hear that, not only just from him, but from anybody that sit there and says the facts, I dabble in facts. That's great that you dabble in facts. I just want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth. Anything you want to add on that, Cheech, or you disagree with anything I just said there?
Yes. Anytime I hear that statement, it is always from someone who don't believe what they see. And they're searching and hoping to uncover something that will dispel what they see, that could change their mind from what they see. We live in a time of wearing rose-colored glasses. So they're saying, hey, let my glasses get a little rosier so I cannot see what I see.
Right.
And so they're asking for time, hoping that things will uncover, will change what they initially saw.
Yeah. So I see that we seen eye to eye on that. So I'm happy with that. But ladies and gentlemen, but like I said, to sum up what I'm saying is I'm not criticizing the guy just yet, but I already know where this rabbit hole is leading. Understand the facts is not the truth. Facts is what leads to the truth. It's just like evidence. evidence is basically saying, okay, we found the evidence that killed this person, but that's not the truth. It's what leads to the truth. Let me go ahead because I'm gonna keep using puns and all that stuff like crazy. Let's get back to this video.
You need to go with the facts and information that you have available. And also, if you have a level of expertise, use your common sense and expertise. But B. Tatum is here not to coddle your feelings, not to do anything else but deliver the facts.
All right, Teach. Your feelings not gonna get hurt. I'm just gonna give you a warning. Is anybody feels gonna get hurt? I know my feelings not gonna get hurt. What about you?
Well, when we're talking about issues, it's not about feelings. The only thing I feel is that the man is dead. That's the only
Right.
feeling. And that is the greatest fact of all facts, anything you can uncover. The one unmutable fact is he's deceased.
Mm-hmm. So let's get back into it. I just love, like, don't get into your feelings. I'm like, come on, man, for real.
I'm a former police officer, and I got a huge level of experience and understanding on how law works, how arrests work, and how court proceedings work. So let's start from the top. Was Ahmaud Arbery just jogging through a community to get exercise as any person in America would do in a reasonable sense? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no unequivocal evidence that he was jogging through the community. There's no video evidence, and there's no witness testimony that that's what he was doing. The only person that says that Ahmaud Arbery was jogging, unfortunately, he can't give the statement, but his mom believed that he was in the community jogging. Video evidence have surfaced. A lot of people are rejecting it, but it's evidence, it's video, it's going to be in a court testimony at some point. So instead of the jogging scenario, which has been debunked, video evidence shows Ahmaud Arbery walking down this residential street. He walks up to a house that is not occupied. This is not a construction site like people would envision, where there's just a frame on a house and there's no real construction. This is nearly a fully built house that happened to have been renovated, and nobody's living there. So it's unoccupied. So the image in people's minds have been that this is a construction site on just frames and it's an open area. That's not what it is. This is a legit house. Now, you can see on the video that has been presented that Ahmaud Arbery is walking.
All right, Teach, what you found?
Okay. I'm
sitting back on this one. Yeah, I'm sitting back on this one.
Since we're dissecting this, I have to stop him here. The time in which this video was taken and the time of the video, the shooting, there's a great lapse in time. So for me, this does not appear as a fact that he was not jogging. It only shows that at this particular time, he was walking through the neighborhood. That's one. Most people do walk after they jog, or even before they jog, depending on where they jog at. Okay, so that's not a fact. That's just something to divert the attention. And then the second thing is that the house was under construction. He's showing the outside of the house, but the film or the footage that I have seen where he was in the house, it was under construction. There was plywood and drywall stacked up everywhere. It was unfinished. So the house being 75% built or 50% built or 25% built is negligent because it was an unfinished house, whatever stage it was in. So again, that's more information to confuse the listener.
So
it has no bearings on the case.
So what you're saying is, for anybody who don't do their research, they would be like, let's say the person who don't know anything about it, only thing they know is a black man got killed by two white men. And they're like, that's wrong. But if they watch a video like this, they're like, oh, okay, that that seems pretty suspicious if they don't do their research.
Right.
So okay, so yeah, I was there with you, Cheech. I was there with you. I was like, I understand what I get it, but then I'm like, okay, cool. All right, now I see what she's saying.
And then I'll add a fourth point. If he starts with this video, and I don't know the time lapse between the time that he walked into the house and the time the men ran him down and killed him, because for me that clearly would suggest premeditated murder. Knowing that he is dead, if they watch the video, and that's an if these men watched the video before they ran him down. So see, there's more information to confuse the mind, because most likely these men have not seen the video before they ran him down.
Gotcha. So let's see what else that this man gonna say about this.
Okay.
To the community, he stops in front of the house. He looks both ways to see if anybody's watching him or can see him, and he does a small sprint into the driveway, and then he walks into the house through the garage. Now, initially, the video that I'm referring to, you can't tell if he's inside the house or just in the garage at this point in time. But a few minutes later or so, he comes walking out and re-enters the house at another location. Now, there's other video that has surfaced of him actually in the house. I've only seen 7 seconds of it, although he was in the house for almost 3 minutes. Now, there is no evidence to rule out if he had actually taken something or attempted to take something.
All right, I'm gonna stop right here. Let me go ahead. Let me use my stop for this one.
Okay.
All right, so so here's my thing. Everybody who's watching and probably gonna be listening on the podcast, have y'all ever not walked down the street, see a house that's being built, and you didn't walk in? You'd be a damn fool if you said you never did. You know, if you see, definitely, let's say if you wanted to find a house to buy and you was like, oh snap, let me go ahead and check this house out. Who doesn't do that? A lot of kids, I know I have. Teach, I know you have. And I know everybody else, including this man on the video, know that they went into a house that haven't been finished yet to go up in there and see, look inside because they're curious, or do some extracurricular activities, which I'm not even going to touch on, but you know what I'm saying. So for him to say that is very disingenuous for me. But let me go ahead. I'm meme in the middle of the tracks. Let's say that, yeah. Let's say he went on in and he trespassed. I mean, he just went up in there. Let's say he did steal something. What are you gonna steal? 2x4? Hammer? I mean, these are things you also gotta say as common sense. Now, I got this one question. This one thing here. Yes, we have. But however, trespassing on somebody else's property. Okay. We're going to get to that part. But still, minus the trespassing, he's still going up in there and looking. And then also the owners were there at the home. They was there at the home next to it. If he knew that he was trespassing, they would have told him, what you doing here? So that trespassing thing is, yeah, that's kind of pushing it there. Because
no. He was trespassing. It was not public property. He was trespassing. I'll say that. But as you said before, who has not trespassed?
Right, and that's what I'm about to go to.
Does trespassing equal death?
Yes, and that's what I was about to get on. It's like, yeah, what places have y'all been on that says no trespassing and you still win? I mean, you put yourself in a situation where you can tell somebody, yeah, you're trespassing, but then that person can look back at you and be like, well, you trespassed too. It's like throwing rocks and you live in a glass house. I mean, you just gotta watch what you say. The two guys were 100% in the wrong for hunting the man down. Yeah, but we get to that. So like, I wish I knew who you was, Facebook user. Just hold on. We getting there. We getting there. You go. We in the appetizers, okay? You already going to the entrees and dessert. Hold on. So let's continue on with this video. And I'm happy that y'all are all engaging. So don't feel scared to put your opinions, because I won't say your opinions, your statements on how you feel, because you could feel differently than myself, Teach, or anybody else who's watching this show. So if you feel, or if you probably agree with us, who knows? Or you probably just don't know anything about the story. But if you feel that you want to write something, join the discussion. It's just not going to be just me and Teach. You can come in, you can put your 2 cents too in as well.
Or not, based on the 7-second video. However, according to Georgia law, if you enter a dwelling, which this house classified as a dwelling, means a structure that's constructed for the purpose of people living in it, it can be occupied, unoccupied, or vacant, and it still is considered a dwelling. If a person enters a dwelling with the intent to commit a felony or theft, that person is responsible for first-degree burglary. First-degree burglary in Georgia law is a felony. So as Mr. Arbery is going into the residence, he's looking around. A reasonable person would believe he's not looking around because he's trying to figure out where he want to put his brand new couch. A reasonable person would believe that he's looking around because he's trying to look for something. Now, look.
Okay. All right. Okay. Teach, what'd you think about that before I say anything?
Okay. Yeah. First degree felony in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He's going in to look around. The first assumption and the only assumption that this man is giving is that the assumption of criminality. It does not enter into his mind that it's just a casual, hey, I'm jogging, I've been seeing this house, let me just go in and see where they're at. It does that assumption of innocence is there. The first assumption is he's up to some type of criminality. And the sad part about that is this: that assumption of criminality has always been the ill-famed legacy of African Americans in this country.
And see, I was about to say something more brutal, but you said it more nicer than what I was about to say. Because I'm just going to go layman terms with it. He's already just pinning this kid as a criminal already.
Exactly.
He's already pinning it on him like he just walked on in like, hey, boy, what you doing up in there? First of all, number one, it's not your house. It's not your house. Number two, it's just like somebody telling you how to raise your kid. Or like if you're disciplining your kid, they come over there and tell you, no, this is how you do it. Go to timeout, stay over there in the corner to 10 minutes. I promise you, he'd be a whole better person when he come back. You probably looking like, really? I gave birth to my kid, not you. You wasn't there. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. And it's just, common sense would have told you, like, this kid is going up in the house. Now, if it's not your house, you should just put your hands up, and it's just gossip and rumors then. But for him to sit there and already pin him as a criminal, you already can see where this is going.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let's continue on with the BS. You know what? I'm going to say it. Excuse my language. Bullshit.
For something in a house that does not belong to you sounds like you have intent to grab something, take something, which is theft. Now, a person walks out of the house and witnesses Mr. Arbery in the house. They walk out and shouts at him, which this has been confirmed from an independent source that I know who live in the area. They yell at him, and then he bolts out of the house and he's running and is visible on the camera, which is
okay. So, all right. And First of all, number one, that's none of that neighbor's business. Two, as a young black man, I don't want you to say young black man, any kid, when you sit there and yell like, hey, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to run. They're going to run. So
I agree.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is, I love how he said my independent source, a person that lives there. I just love that. I just love how they say, well, I know somebody that's actually right there. I got my insider. And then you come to find out that their whole entire story was just bullshit. Anything you want to add, Teach?
Not at this point.
So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you can already, no matter what your political views is, it shouldn't even be political right now, but still, I'm just going to put that out there. You can see flaws in this story already. What argument that he's putting out, you can already see it. Let me see. He was 26. Why wouldn't he run? He's not a kid. Why wouldn't he run? He's not.
Well,
a kid.
Basically,
Yeah.
He was trespassing. He's on somebody else's property.
Yeah.
You feel some kind of way, because I'll just tell you, I used to own a real estate company back in the day, and some of the things we did, we went to new builds, and we also went to different houses, and to look at one of the houses, and one house that we went to, it was actually it was said that it was unoccupied, but when we got there and went through the house, like, what, people still live here.
Right.
People still live here. And right as we were coming out of the home, and the family that lived there was coming in, and that's a very awkward situation. There was no I won't say there was no guilt, because we were just looking at houses from the real estate list, but you can feel unnerved at that moment, being confronted with someone, or you find yourself, like I said, this particular house, it was occupied, but on our listing, it was unoccupied. So I was not expecting anyone else to come in at the time that we were there. So people have different feelings in that particular moment. And
Right.
No two people will feel the same or react the same.
Right. But, his insider source said that, when he yelled at him, he ran. He ran. I mean, there's many times where I was in a place, or if I saw my mama, yeah, I run. But it's not about me. It's about this story. But let's get back into it.
A surveillance camera of a house across the street. Now, there is a 911 call provided by Gregory McMichael, and on that 911 call, they're explaining that they visibly see Mr. Arbery currently in an unoccupied structure, and that while they're on the 911 call, they see him running out of the occupied structure, and then they give chase, according to all the documents that I've read. Now, according to Georgia law, if you witness a person, or you have firsthand knowledge, or they say immediate knowledge of a crime, and it's a felony, you can pursue and conduct a citizen's arrest. And an arrest, if people don't understand what that term means, that means that you are able to grab a person, detain a person where they cannot leave. That is considered an arrest.
Stop.
So Georgia law give.
What you got?
Okay. He's describing what an arrest is, and a citizen's arrest for the state of Georgia. And I would, go with what he's saying, because I don't know Georgia law.
Right.
And this is where we have to stop. These people shot and killed him. They just didn't detain him, hold him down, or surround him where he could not move and waited for authorities. At this point, they took the law in their hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Once. Yeah, and once
end
again,
the
it's
story.
yeah.
End
Once
the,
again,
end the, end the story. He
yeah.
doesn't have anything else to say at this point.
Right, right. And which goes back to the point that I was making earlier. For anybody who do not know the ins, or at least knows the ins and outs of this story, when hearing that, they would have been like, "Oh, okay, maybe the people that did it did had a point to go chase them." I'm just saying it from a person that don't know this story. You know, I'm not saying that I don't know a story, but I'm saying from a point of somebody who just basically just jumped to conclusions, you know,
Right.
who don't know the law. I don't know the Georgia law, but I got enough common sense to know bullshit when I smell it and see it. And right
Exactly.
now, I am smelling bullshit from this guy. And the thing is, my battle buddy who's actually up in the chat room, see, you know, when you have insiders, you at least would give them a name or at least point them out or give them a code word. My boy Jason has experience of being a police officer. So, like he said, every state has different interpretations of the law, which is true. The laws that is here in Washington is going to be entirely different in Virginia, and vice versa. Virginia to Ohio, Ohio to California, California to Texas. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So for anybody, like I said, don't know the information, the actual information, rather than, you know, they just know the surface. They know this story on the surface, but they don't go deeper. Hearing this will make them just want to change their mind, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, he seems very knowledgeable on it. You know what I mean? So, as
Yeah,
my
he
yeah,
sounds convincing to an unlearned and an untrained ear.
right. And my boy would have just said, when you take a course of having a gun, it states that you don't have to pursue the person who commits a crime. And for him to sit there and say that this man have, you know, the guy who yelled at him and the guy took off running, you can't sit there and say that he's committed a crime. I mean, you don't know what the person did. I mean, you could just go on a freaking guess. But let's continue on with the story.
Greg and Travis McMichael lawful reason or lawful ability to conduct a citizen's arrest on Mr. Arbery, who they've witnessed commit a crime. Now,
stop.
They give Chase.
I stop.
Wait a minute. Okay, so these two killers witnessed him do the crime, or did they listen on their CB radios that a crime was being committed in their neighborhood? I need some clarification.
I mean, on the surveillance tape, I only saw one person, and then you saw that other guy. He was walking out of his house. Those are the only two people I seen, unless the camera didn't catch that, or maybe I'm just going blind. Did anybody catch that?
Yeah, please chime in.
Yeah,
because he said they witnessed him, but from what I've read loosely, and I'll say loosely, say I read it thoroughly, or I didn't even read it to even remember it, to tell the truth. Mm-hmm. There was a time lapse between the video and the shooting, a considerable time lapse. So that needs to be brought into question, whether it was an hour in time, 2 hours in time, or 3 hours in time. That needs to be brought in question. And the homeowner who provided the videotape was the homeowner, one of these gentlemen that killed Arbery. Because depending on the time that it was taken, either let's make some assumptions. Either the homeowners were there and they watched it, or they were out at Walmart and got a notice on their phone, and they looked at it from the phone. They had to drive from Walmart. You know, what were the homeowners doing? Where were the homeowners did the homeowner see the video as it was taking place? Or did the homeowners witness the feed from the video after they got home from work? See, this is all cloudy, gray areas that he is making assumptions and tying dots together that don't even exist.
But see, also remember, he's a police officer. He got the experience. I trust my battle buddy more than anything. with the with all this. James, welcome to the show. Let me see. I can honestly take the position is at least manslaughter. Law and intent make it complicated. What you think, Teach?
Everybody is entitled to their opinion. He's dead. Well, it depends. Like I said, if we find out at the time lapse between the video being viewed and them hunting him down, then we can make some educated assumptions.
Right. But let's go ahead and get back into this video. I think I used two of my stops. I think you had more than me. I think I got one more than me. But let's keep it going.
Okay.
Thanks to Mr. Arbery. The video picks up what we've all seen, the horrible video of him running down the residential street, and you can see the pickup truck with Travis McMichael and his father Greg McMichael in the back seat, and you see a video, not a back seat, but the bed of the truck, and you see a video recording them. The person in the video recording is also a neighbor who's recording the incident. On the video footage, you can see Arbery running on the left side of the road. It's a 2-lane road, and there's the painted line in the middle. He's running on the left side of the road. The McMichael's truck is on the right side of the road, not crossing the double lines. And Travis McMichael is out of the truck with a shotgun in his hand, standing on the left side of the road, which is the same side that Mr. Arbery is running down. Now,
okay, stop.
Let's talk about the possession or carrying.
Now I know you got more stops than me.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
The thing that I seen two trucks and I seen a man running in the middle. Now, he said earlier that we had no evidence that he was jogging. Looked like he was jogging right then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, he's between these two trucks. At this point, I don't think that he is in fear of his life because he's just jogging down the street. Because my mind is telling me that if he had fear that the truck in front of him or the truck behind him was getting ready to do him some harm, I think he would have veered to the left or to the right. I don't think he would have kept running down the same street. That just, I never been in a chase before. God knows I would just play and get caught because I can't run. But it looks like, they had him in, but had not stated, or he was not aware of the mischief that was laying in wait for him at that point until the one jumped out of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
All right, let's get back into it.
Of a gun to a citizen's arrest. Now, according to Georgia law, the McMichaels are within the constitutional rights and the open carry laws of Georgia to possess and also put guns in their vehicle whenever they travel. And just because you are traveling to conduct a citizen's arrest or whatever the case may be, does not negate your constitutional right to open carry. Now, when they get out of the car,
Stop.
I was gonna say it, but go ahead.
Yeah, I had to steal that stop from you. So I know what he's about to lead into. He's about to say that them having the gun and pointing it at this kid, they are justified in doing that because it's an open and carry state. My boy, Water, can you see the comments, Miss Joe? Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
And for Woodard, who comes from Texas, in an open carry, Texas is like the bread and butter of open carry. He even called BS in the middle of that sentence that ex-officer said. I don't even think he was on the street. I don't even think that he was even like ever set down in the community. I believe he was one of those good old boys. I'm with the crew, you know, I'm a police officer. I'm in a fraternity. I'm with them forever. You know, I'm a policeman. It's like in the Marines. Once Marine, you're always a Marine. And I can see he got that same mentality that he will be behind that, what they call it, the blue wall of silence. He will be right there and he wouldn't even realize that he's like the token. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He wouldn't realize that. So once again, he's thinking that his audience are probably people who don't know the ins and outs of what's going on with this case. And they will listen to him, which make them think secondly of what they felt in the first place or what they believe in the first place. Like they make them want to question it.
Right.
And I can see, and then also I love his play on words too. So I'm not gonna give this guy too much credit. But what you got to add on, Teach? Because I knew you was ready. I had to take that stop away from you. I had to take it. I was like, Jesus.
Will he? I'm trying to think of how he said it. That he was establishing that they can open carry, but he led it with when they went on the pursuit, which goes back for me to premeditation. The way he said it, if I was in the jury, I heard premeditation.
Yeah.
But he said it in a sophisticated way, giving them justification to carry the weapons. Okay, yes, you can carry the weapons, but the way maybe if you could just back it up just a couple of seconds.
I will. I'll back it up.
And listen to the way he said it.
All right, I'm going to back it up to 701.
In the open carry laws of Georgia to possess and also put guns in their vehicle whenever they travel. And
let me take it back a little bit more.
Yeah.
To a citizen's arrest. Now, according to Georgia law, the McMichaels are within the constitutional rights and the open carry laws of Georgia to possess and also put guns in their vehicle whenever they travel. And just because you are traveling to conduct a citizen's arrest or whatever the case may be, does not negate your constitutional right to open carry. Now, when they get out of the car with,
let's see, yes, I heard it. Did everybody else heard it? I see what you're saying, Teach. Love to play on words, but let's continue on.
A shotgun, which is a long gun or shotgun, according to Georgia law, they have a right to open carry that gun. That does not necessitate or does not indicate an immediate use of force because they have a legitimate right by law to carry that gun. Not saying it's right or wrong or whatever the case may be, but they have that right. Mr. Arbery.
Stop. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, that kill. Oh, I'm sorry. That kills me every freaking time. It's like but I hate that. It's either it is or it isn't. It's not kinda or maybe. It's either yes or no. I'm sorry. Teach. This blows my mind. And I know I got some veterans up in here in the military, and they can probably understand what I'm saying. The military is so famous for that. They're so famous for it. It's like it's like, yeah, and then it's a but. And I'm like, come on, man, it is or it isn't? We're not saying that the men are not allowed to have, an open and carry. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that. We have open and carry in Wisconsin. I walk around, yeah, and people still call cops on you. Yeah, see, and we're not saying that the gentleman do not, need to hold a weapon or anything like that. Not saying that. But going back to what you said, Teach, a kid's not here today. He's gone. He can't even defend himself. He can't. It's either it is or it isn't. It's like calling his death like, yeah, do you count it as a death or is he still alive? He's not moving. It's either he's gone or he's not. Either he's gone or he's alive. I don't know, TJ. Anything you want to add on to it?
I would just like to say this is another argument to convolute, to fill up the space and distract from the issue that he's dead. Okay, Georgia law, you could open carry. So that's a dead issue. It has no merit here because that's not what we're discussing. What we're discussing is this man is dead.
Yeah.
We're not arguing Georgia law, whether or not they can carry or not carry. So that, again, that's fluff filler to get your mind diverted from the real issue.
Mm-hmm. And to be completely honest, I have no issues with the open and carry states. I don't. I just choose not to take my weapon everywhere if I have one. I'm gonna be for real. So don't even try to harass me when I say this, because I know you do it too. I just keep a weapon like usually, under your seat, or keep it at home, or keep it behind the door. That's it. James, he just, he said he opens and carries. I have no issue, no problem with that. But the issue I do have with it, if they carry an M16 or one of those semi-automatics
rocket launchers.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point? Thank you for taking me back to Iraq or taking my bell boys back to Afghanistan. The war is over there. The war is not here. So, but yeah, I just had to stop on that one. I just hate the but it's like it's either is or it isn't. Let's get back into it before I spill on it too much.
Arbery is running down the street. He rounds to the opposite side of the road. He goes around the McMichael's truck, and now he's in a physical altercation at the front of the truck with Travis McMichael, fighting for a shotgun. Now, there is the law that pertains to self-defense. Both McMichael and Arbery at this point have a reasonable expectation of self-defense as they're fighting for a weapon. If Arbery
stop. Okay.
Time. I'm not trying to get your cheat on. You just screamed bullshit real quick, did you? Woo! Go ahead.
Okay. Woo! I'm gonna have to. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me recompose myself and say that this gentleman is walking down the street. I mean, well, he's running.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not reach inside the car and pull the man out. The man jumped out the car, which anybody with any sense, you're jogging. I don't know. We can't hear any verbiage. No verbal exchange, but all of a sudden someone jumps out of the car. Yes, you're in total defense mode. Now, These two men have no right of defense because they were the ones that put him on the defense. And so for him to come back and even begin to go down the right to defend themselves, to kill him, I don't even want to watch the rest of the video.
But I understand, Teach, but we already almost halfway up into it now.
Yeah, this is outrageous. And the thing that's dangerous about him is this: to the unlearned and the untrained ear, he sounds like he could make sense. It's dangerous because it makes no sense. He convolutes the arguments, and probably that's what they do in the courtroom anyway when they don't have a case.
But then also
they bring up all these
officer.
things. And what? Okay. I'm the person walking down the street because I can't run. 2 cars have me entrapped. They're probably yelling all type of racial epithets or dangerous threats.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have to be racial. We'll take that element out. But dangerous threats, I'm gonna think these people are crazy, especially knowing I have done nothing wrong. Okay, I'm gonna think they're crazy. I would think they probably were drunk, probably reeking of alcohol. You probably smelling meth coming out of the truck. I would think all kind of things in this situation. And then somebody jumps out the truck, jumps out of the moving truck, not the stop truck, but the moving truck, and try to wrestle me down. I don't know what he sees. Well, he has his life experience of being a police officer.
Yeah.
I continue on.
Oh, fun fact. I think everybody in the chat probably already knows this, but I don't think you know this, Cheech. The father of the kid of the son that jumped up, because this is a father and son tandem. The father is a police officer. Let that marinate for a bit. Let's get back to the video.
He had no duty to retreat. If he believed that they were conducting an illegal citizen's arrest, which is kind of hard to believe since he ran from the residence that he was potentially burglarizing. But regardless of that, if he believes that they are unjustifiably arresting him, he don't have a duty to retreat. He don't have a duty to run. He can run straight down the street, and if he's confronted, he can use his self-defense to pull the gun away from McMichael. Also, Travis McMichael, if a suspect is running, you're trying to conduct a citizen's arrest, and that suspect circles behind you and runs at you and fights you for a gun, you have a right to defend yourself by using deadly force.
Whoa, hold up. I'm gonna stop. Let's stop. Okay, let's. This, I know that this country is starting to lean where the predator is becoming the victim and the victim is becoming the predator. I'm gonna use predator. I know they use a different word, but it's a damn shame that this man, after what you just said, Teach, that he literally jumped off the truck with a shotgun. Listen to me, with a shotgun to an unarmed man. Now I know I've been calling this young man kid and all that stuff, so get with me real quick, but this man literally saying that a man with a shotgun who's trying to do a citizen's arrest has every right to defend himself. Not only just defend himself, but use deadly force. I'm trying to understand where is the kid weapon? Did the kid have a weapon? Did the kid say any threats? I won't say any threats. Like what you said, Cheech, did he come and attack the kid off the freaking truck? For you to use deadly force on somebody else, they had to have a weapon on themselves too, or they was hitting on you first.
Exactly.
I mean, not all of this is, how can I explain it? I know I'm a country bumpkin from Virginia. Okay, I got the country accent that I'm trying to keep to Slayer, but I'm not stupid to where a person with a shotgun who is pointing it at me, I'm going to defend myself.
And you don't think that man had any fear in him? I'm virtually naked, and you got army rifle or shotgun, whatever you call it. I don't know weapons, but
right. I got you.
You jumping out of a truck at me? I don't have a right of defense. I don't have a right to preserve my life.
Right. It's like saying that a rapist or a pedophile, they had a right to do self-defense on their victims. You have to see it from their point of view. No, the point of view of that man with the shotgun is to kill. They weren't doing no damn citizen's arrest. They was going to kill that kid, which unfortunately they did. If you're going to sit there and you're going to...
He said you have to have a weapon or the intent of doing bodily harm.
Right. So when
that intent, the moment they got out of the truck with the gun.
Yes. I mean, this is literally like blowing my mind that I'm hearing this from this man. I mean, I'm gonna get more to it about this particular video because we're already dissecting this video. We are already dissecting this. We are already deep up in it. So let's continue. I'm gonna keep this start till the end.
Now I believe, and I'm not here to make a judgment because they will find out in court who's right and who's wrong in this. The information that I'm giving is...
Hold up. No, Cheech, did you hear that right? Did anybody hear that right?
I heard it. Everything he has said is his judgment.
No judgment. It's going to be decided by the court. It's going to be decided in court. This man has already prejudged. Hey, Grady, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Wow.
I mean, it's... Whew. Let's, continue.
It's rooted in the facts. I've seen the video. I heard the 911 calls. And I want people that are watching this to do your research. Look it up. I am not here to tell you who's guilty and who's not guilty. I'm just here to tell you what the information is and what Georgia law is and how it is articulated in the performance of a citizen's arrest and also Mr. Arbery's running or jogging, what people say jogging, which is no indication of, down a residential street.
Said that twice.
Yeah, I'm all the things that he was saying is already he got this prejudged. He already got in his mind that this kid's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me. I mean, am I saying anything wrong, Teach? Everybody who's tuning in right now, am I saying anything wrong? It seemed like he already got his mind made up. If he was on that jury, he's already got this kid. He's not going to get the justice that he deserved.
Well, what he has done is he's blaming the victim. He's creating a case for the district attorney to vindicate the murderers. That's what he's doing. He is going down the pathway. He's not objective, and Alan, you're right. He is judging when he says it's not bragging. I mean, when he's not jogging. But clearly, when he was between those two cars, he was running, jogging, hopping.
Mm-hmm.
He was not walking. But he is making the case for the defense. Yeah. And if I was unlearned and had an untrained ear, I'm not that stupid.
You probably would have, knowing you, Chief, you probably would have been like, you sound kind of fuzzy. I'm going to go ahead and look up at Google and see what I can research. Or I can find a friend that's familiar with the law, But if he was on the jury right now, he would have already just let them walk. He already probably would have just been like innocent. Like literally.
I believe so.
He would literally sleep good the next night after doing that and thinking that everything would have been okay and that he's done right for the justice system. And it's sad. But Teach, we almost there. We're 9 minutes and 33 minutes in. We about to hear some more BS. Let's go.
I am tired of people lying and being emotional, whether it's intentional or not, about a case in which they have not researched and about individuals whom they do not know and never met. I understand that there will be outrage when you see a person lose their life on video camera. But ladies and gentlemen, do not pick a side. Don't be the person.
Stop. Hold up. Did we just hit into like a mud puddle? You know, Teach, you know what I'm talking about. When you drive on those country back roads and you just stop hitting, we hit that first mud puddle, you think you're gonna be good for the rest of the way. And then next thing you know, that's what I'm seeing with this story right now. He said, don't choose a side. Dude, what do you mean not choose a side? Nowadays, you have to choose a side because you're just going to be that little twig in the middle that's going to breeze one way. It's going to breeze to the left 1 minute. Then it's going to breeze to the right the next day. Or then some days you just sitting there. And usually those are the people that you don't trust because you don't know which side they're going to take. You have to choose a side. And then not to mention the evidence is clear. You're not going to hear this on CNN, ladies and gentlemen. You're definitely not going to hear this on Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to hear it here. Yeah, so.
Why does he feel it necessary to into not believing what they see? You remember when I told you before we even started looking at the video, rose-colored glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And his position is, let us wait. And as he has talked, he has filled up his rose-colored glasses that he can of what he just presented, but he doesn't want anybody to use their own mind for him to say to the public, do not pick a side. Who are you?
Yeah.
Simple. Or not.
Yeah, that's a simple
overstepping his boundaries, overstepping the So this is why I'm saying whoever his audience is, they believe everything he says. And they probably won't research. They probably won't utilize any critical thinking. Probably just go and say, oh, he makes all these videos. He got, 1 million followers. Oh, he must be good because 1 million people wouldn't follow him. Yeah. So again, his whole argument is laced with pros for the defense. And it's pro defense. And there's nothing weighted in his argument. He doesn't bring in the cons. Well, all the cons are against Arbery, and all of the pros are for the McMichaels. And so he doesn't even present a balanced argument.
No, he
at all.
Like you said, he just bringing in like a lot of fluff. The distraction is like a maze, it's straightforward, but he's putting in those obstacles that will keep your eye off the prize, and then all of a sudden there's another obstacle, there's another one, and even when you cross the finish line, he will still question, like, you sure you crossed the finish line? Because last time I checked, the finish line was still 2 miles down the street. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, I just literally had to stop on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for me coughing. I was drinking my grape drink over here, and it went down the wrong too. I don't have the corona, so don't y'all. So keep the jokes to yourselves, damn it. And
Where's your face mask?
I just got my face mask right here. Y'all got jokes, okay? Let's get back to this video.
Person to say I'm with the black man. Don't be a person to say I'm with the white man. Be a person that says I'm with the facts. And I personally believe I dispelled every single argument that has come against this case with facts. I'm not picking a side. You shouldn't pick a side. You're proven innocent. You're innocent, presumed innocent, until proven guilty. These individuals that have been arrested for murder. They are innocent until proven guilty. The prosecution has the burden to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you ask me my personal opinion, based on my training and experience, I do not think they're going to be found guilty of murder. Based on the statutes, based on the stand your ground law, based on open carry laws, based on citizens arrest laws.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, once again, he is throwing his knowledge out to y'all to deflect how y'all feel. Not only how you feel, but you know that it's the truth. Remember, he kept on saying facts, 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 facts. What facts are you talking about, sir? His opinion. I'll also tell you the truth, Al. Well, Sergeant Bragg, I know you retired and everything, but you know I gotta respect the rank. He also, welcome back, Granny. This man here, he's saying a statement. He is saying a statement because this video right here that we're watching got over, I think, 4 million views. 4 million. If this was just his opinion, it would just be amongst his friends, because, like, if it was just us talking, it would be my opinion, because you know where I'm gonna come from. Like, let's say, let's talk about the new crispy chicken. His opinion, though, bullshit. But like I was saying, so let's say we have like a conversation about who got the best chicken sandwich, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. I think Popeyes got the best chicken sandwich. That's my opinion. Even though they do, I think Chick-fil-A is overrated, salty as hell. But see, that's my opinion, because y'all know where I'm coming from. But if I go on YouTube and I sit there and I say that to millions of people, and let's say a lot of people didn't like what I said, I can't fall back and be like, yo, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. No. I always go by the saying before I do any show. I always have this saying in the back of my mind, is that when you put yourself out there on Jump Street, you deserve as much as the roses, the rocks, the confetti, the dirt, hot dogs, anything. You deserve all that thrown on you. You deserve it because you put yourself out there. And for this man to sit there and say all this mess and thinking that he's going to get off, that they're going to get off. And unfortunately, I believe that they're going to get off too, but it will not be on those merits that he's talking about. Definitely that citizen's arrest. Because those two gentlemen wasn't even there when the kid walked up in the house. They wasn't even there. It was more like a hit squad. So
you're absolutely right, because that lends itself to falsification.
Mm-hmm.
If they did not actually witness him coming out of the house, but like I said, they heard it over the radio, or their neighbor called, or somebody called them and said, hey, it's a black dude, coming out of the house. at one point in time did they correctly identify
Yeah.
that Black person? Because he could have ran, did his jogging, went home, and then another Black guy decided he want to go jogging. But we do know that, you know, it was the same person. But again, it lends itself to possible identity, false identity. They didn't identify the proper person. They didn't even give time for identification.
No. So
No
right
time
there.
for identification. And in the thing that I wanted to say about him, you said that this particular episode got over 4 million views.
Yeah, let me go ahead. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about.
Well, he is a
I take that back. I gave him too much credit. He actually got 1.8 million, as y'all can see. Hopefully, y'all can see that. He got 1.8 million views.
Right. So what that means that at least 1 million people have watched it, and he has given his opinion. And like I said, people that think like him, agree with him. He sets himself up as a celebrity because now 1 million people follow him.
Mm-hmm.
1 million people agree with him. So him giving his opinion is giving the public the authority to repeat everything that he says, to believe everything that he says. So he tells you in the beginning, don't pick a side, but he lays it out in a way that if you're unlearned, unskilled, don't have any critical analysis of a situation, you would believe what he said and you would come away of his same opinion. But he told you don't pick a side, but he put a side in your mind.
Yep. Like he subconsciously was like, look, I'm not telling you to pick Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich has been tasty. I tried it before, but you can choose whatever chicken sandwich you want.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like, let me go ahead and try to persuade you without persuading you. And this is what he was doing through the whole video. For everybody who's tuning in watching, you've seen the play on words and how he's swerving to where he wants you. What? Not swerving, but leading you.
Guiding you.
Guiding you to how you should believe and how you should see his case. He already told you, don't take a side. Wink, wink. Just saying.
Can Alan speak? He just made a comment. Can he speak? I would like to hear him expand upon the statement that he made.
What statement is that? This last one right here? Or the trespassing one?
He said they never had the elements to do a citizen's arrest.
Oh, right there, right here.
Yeah, I would like to hear him speak if he would.
Hey, Brad, you wouldn't mind joining in on the show? I can send you the invitation. We do need more voices. That also goes for you too, Jason. If you want to join in, we need your expertise. I can't speak, but I can type real fast. Okay. We can take that. We can take that. Oh, he said he don't mind. Okay, I'm about to send you a invitation, Jason. If you want to be a part of this conversation, because I want to keep this as like a round table discussion, because everybody's going to have their different views. Everybody deserves to be heard, but also I'm not trying to steal what old buddy was trying to say, but our thoughts and our feelings, please do not put them on your shoulders. You know, we're here to get to the common issues on what's going on. First, let me go ahead and find Bragg real quick. And while I'm finding him, Teach, I think we deserve a break. Do you think we deserve a break?
Yes, because I really did want to take you all where I was going.
Oh, hey, look, go ahead and save that. But yeah, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all about the interview that I will be conducting this coming Sunday on May 17th with my dog, Beast Johnson. He's an independent hip hop artist in North Carolina. And I will be having the distinguished honor of interviewing him. So I'm going to go take a break. We are going to go take a break. And when we come back, we will have another guest, Alan Bragg. I had the honor of serving with him. And he's going to give his insight as well. And we, ladies and gentlemen, will be right back. Told you we're gonna be back just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this video, and I'm still gonna send out the invitations to and also to Jason so we can get his expertise on that as well. So let's get back into this video because I literally just want to just take my hands and choke the hell out of this dude.
Based on the law of felony first-degree burglary, all of those things are going to be a defense that could potentially get them out of second-degree murder. If they charge them with first-degree murder, there's no way. Second-degree murder, that doesn't seem that there's a good chance. Manslaughter is the only possible crime that could have been committed here given the totality of circumstances. Now, at the end of the day, the court is going to do it. The juries are going to hear the case. There's information that you don't know and I don't know that will come out during the hearing. And when all the information is out, I trust that the justice system will give the right verdict. And if that's a guilty verdict, then that's what it is. In our judicial system, you have a right to appeal and you have a right to fight your case if you feel like it was unduly and it was negligent, or you feel like that the case was unfair. I think that's pretty much it. I go live to let people know. You can look on my Instagram to see more information, but I figured that I will give a quick synopsis as quick as I can give on information that's been provided, laws that have been cited, and slightly my conclusion about what I think will happen in the court of law. I believe, again, it's unfortunate that the justice system performed a knee-jerk reaction by arresting them for murder because of public outrage. I believe this should have gone
3 months.
Right.
Hold on, let me say that again. Like I said, I'm just a country bumpkin from Virginia, and math have not been my forte, but 3 months. 3 months. Once again, he's fabricating the people's mind and telling them, have sympathy. If we can like really filter what he really wants to say, then I will be like, yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue. While our boy Jason Woodard have joined in
to a grand jury, like it was suggested by the prosecutor who did not recuse himself, and they should have been able to hear both arguments and proceed with probable cause arrest if necessary. To do this in under 48 hours after getting asked to investigate this, it is not a good look. It's not a good criminal justice precedent. But at the end of the day, we're going to see who was right and who's wrong with all the information presented. Let me add this. People that think they've seen everything, you haven't seen nearly enough. There are 4 or 5 witnesses on this case. There are 4 other cases linked to this case. 3 of them, or two or three of them are trespassing. 1 is a theft from a motor vehicle, and 1 is a burglary link. So this is not the first incident in which Arbery is associated. By the police enforcement and law enforcement connectivity, they have connected and linked 4 or 5 other cases as associated cases where Mr. Arbery could potentially be a suspect in. Like I said, there's 5 more witnesses. We do not have their testimony. We do not have documentation of it. I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, send it to me. There are plenty of officers that were on the scene. CID detectives, they were on the scene. Crime scene, the people who took photos, the autopsy, all of those are
there was no police on the scene.
No, I ain't seen no police on the scene because obviously, if the police was on the scene, they would have stopped that one kid from shooting the other guy. Just saying.
And pretty much what he said is after the fact, police was on the scene. That's what he's trying to say, but he's saying it wrong, completely wrong to everybody.
First of all, let me go ahead and introduce everybody. This man had been my Ace Boom Coon for a long ass time. Back to the live from Iraq days, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Too Smooth Woodard. Now, one thing, if y'all was not day one, this man has experience not only in the military, he also has experience in law enforcement and also with the fire department. So for somebody, I'm happy to have your expertise, Woodard. I get to finally get to use your police expertise. So to school, not only just myself and teach here, but to everybody else who's watching, who's going to watch this later, what is the flaws in this story that this so-called ex-police officer is making?
And the flaws in it is pretty much he's showing the video and talking about the 7-second video about he was showing intent that he was trying to rob the place. And from what I saw in the video, he just standing there looking around at the building, planning how he's going to put his furniture in it. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. Because you can't really look at a 7-second video and say, oh, they had intent to steal something out of that house. No. Yeah. Now, you need to show the whole video of it then, the whole time he was in there, because you see that the construction company had a camera in the house they was building. So where's the rest of the video at? Can't play 7 seconds and grab an opinion from that.
Yeah, because I think me and Teach is kind of on like the same level of like when you go, we all done it before. We all went inside unfinished homes. You know, mischiefs happens there, or people are who's about to move into the community. Who knows? Or somebody could be going up in there just to like it's like a little hideout for them just to, you know, chill out, get away from everybody, read a book. Who knows? I mean, everybody has done it. I understand, you know, trespassing and all that stuff. But my thing is, if the owners, which I'm thinking about putting up that video where the owner said that they had no problem, that the kid didn't even steal anything. So it goes back to what Teach was trying to say. What led them to kill this young man? Why?
Pretty much they're trying to make a statement for themselves, saying, "Oh, look, we caught somebody and they ran from us, so we killed them." That's basically what they did. That's the statement that they made to everybody. That, you know, we can do what we want. Georgia is not going to do nothing to us. It's nothing you can do about it. So we did what we want to do. Okay.
All right. So let's so Teach, you got anything to add before we end this craziness of a video?
No. I think I said everything, because if I say any more, I'll just be repeating myself. This man is an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can think of many words that I can say, you know. Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish this.
Investigatory information that we are not privy to. There's surveillance camera that I just expressed to you. That's a partial camera angle. That's only the external. They have access to the internal angle. They only show 7 seconds on the media. I have not been able to obtain the entire video footage. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot still out there.
So now he's turned himself into a media outlet. Wow. I wonder who else is trying to do that. Not pointing any fingers, you know.
And please, please, please use the information that's provided, understanding that there could be more. And don't hate your brother if they disagree with you. Anyway, let me know if B Tatum tripping. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all hit the bell. Visit the Austin Tatum store where you get all the cool merch. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.
Yes, you is out, and I'm so happy that you is. But speaking of out, we got somebody else who joined us. How you doing? You know I gotta call you Sar. I gotta call you Big Sar and Bragg. How you doing? Bragg, can you hear me? Hello? I think he's still trying to work on it, but ladies and gentlemen, this man right here I had the honor of serving with. This is Alan Bragg. Alan Bragg, can you hear us now?
I can't hear you, brother.
Oh, well, but we can hear you though. We can hear you. Let me see.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You good?
All right, I'm good. All right.
Yeah. So, Bragg, it's been a while. All the way to the Fort Campbell days. So let me go ahead and introduce you. Woodard, this is Alan, Woodard, and Woodard, Bragg, Teach up here, or AKA Professor Jope. I said your name right again. Yes. Yes. Welcome. This is how, ladies and gentlemen, this is how I pictured this to be, us in a roundtable discussion. And then also Granny, she's holding it down. She's holding it down over there. So now we already see the problem. Whatever that guy, that little tangent that he was saying, we all together collectively knew that he was talking out his ass.
Yeah.
Now, Georgia does have an open and carry law. They do have that. But I think the question is, what is grounds for a citizen arrest? And I think this is going to be more lenient to you, Woodard. So other than what he said, what is grounds for a citizen's arrest, one? And then two, how would the procedure go, if that makes any sense?
You know, for a citizen arrest, you know, they got to be in the act of committing a crime. And also, if they're in the act of committing a crime, then you can detain them, but you can't go deadly force with them. So that's where, like, if you're in my house stealing, or in my neighbor's house stealing something, and I catch you in the act of doing it, I have grounds to grab it. But once you start running from me, I have no grounds at all anymore, because you retreated, you're leaving.
Oh wow!
But the minute you start pursuing someone, then you switch from being a citizen into you acting like you're the police.
So basically, vigilante.
Yeah. So the police have the authority to go chase you down. A citizen don't have that same authority. You're not covered if you have, like here in Texas, if you chase somebody down and kill them, you're not covered at all. Right. You'll get prosecuted for being a vigilante. All
right. So Bragg, I see you was very vocal in the chat room. You also mentioned about Noir. I'm familiar with him. He used to have a show with the NRA. Correct?
Correct. He's a lawyer with the you know, he's a big Second Amendment advocate type guy. You know, and he's all on it. You know, Second Amendment, but he was not in agreement. You know, he's pretty much said everything opposite of what the guy who was just talking, you know, that was on the video said. You know, and he's an actual lawyer. And so he broke it down, basically saying that they didn't have any authority, or the elements had not been met with Georgia law. And he had it on the screen, and, you know, it broke it all down. They didn't meet any of that. You know, I guess a video came out saying, you know, that they saw some black guy in the home previous, but, you know, they just going on assumptions. They don't know who that guy was. They don't know if it's the same guy. Yeah. And even if it was him, that still does not mean that they had the right to stop him, because he wasn't stealing anything. Trespass is a misdemeanor at best. You know, it's not a felony. So what was he doing so wrong for him to be killed? You know, it's just wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need a law degree to know that.
Yeah, that's true. And because I just sit back and I'm just like thinking to myself, we all done it before. Bragg, I know you did it when you were small with your friends. Wood, I know you did it. Cheech, I know you did it.
I did it 3 months ago.
Right. I mean, we all go up in there for like, we could be needing some ideas for a new home. Maybe it could be your home. I mean, nobody knows. I mean, nowadays with what's going on with the economy now, you got homes being built, apartments being built like almost every day, definitely over here in Washington. And who knows, that could have been your building. So you're gonna arrest me, a citizen arrest. It's gonna put a shotgun at me at this building. I mean, that could have been the kids, his mom and daddy probably could have gave him that house, like, hey son, this is gonna be your house, it's being built. I mean, so many scenarios can go in my mind, but it does not justify what happened. I mean, nothing. I mean, it's just crazy. Which lead the question to you, Cheech. What, from this whole entire situation, what can we learn from this? What solutions can we get to that when we know something like this about to happen? What should we do?
Well, in this day and age, anything and everything, if you are a Black man or woman or child or senior citizen or baby laying in the crib, anything can happen. And over the years, we've seen 7-year-old babies shot in the middle of the night. 15-year-old shot in the middle of the night, in their beds, sleeping in their beds, breaking into police, breaking into houses unannounced, not in uniform, going jogging, going to the bank, going grocery shopping, driving the kids to school, picking them up from school. No matter what you do in life in this country, if you are Black, you can see your life flash before your eyes for something that it should not be. And I have to say to err on the side of caution, especially if you live in a neighborhood where people have I'm going to kill you mentality. If you know you are around people that will utterly kill you, you have to be on your best behavior. But what is your best behavior? Because if you do what they say, they will kill you. If you don't do what they say, they will kill you. If you act mannerable and even take yourself down and say, yes, a master, they will kill you. If you say, no, sir, oh, you're being uppity, and they will kill you. You have to recognize the element and the time in which we live. And this is the fear that the African has lived with since coming from Africa. This fear has never left the Black community. It is ever present. And we must remember who we are and how we're treated, and not get persuaded that racism is gone because you live in an integrated neighborhood. Don't forget that racism exists because you graduate from Harvard or Yale. Don't forget that racism exists when you climb the corporate ladder and you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You cannot forget that it exists if all your friends and all your neighbors are white. You cannot forget. What you can remember is that they are white. You have climbed the corporate ladder. You have those friends. But when it comes to some issues, they are going to stand on one side and you will stand on the other. So you have to navigate to the best of your ability in this world.
All right.
I can't see a right way or wrong way because I have seen too many senseless deaths, be it an infant or be it the elderly.
Okay. So here's my all right, now here's my issue, but also with a question to everybody, and I don't care who jumps in and who wants to answer. So I think it was a week after all this happened, a Black militant group actually went back to that place in front of the killer's house. I'm called like it is, to the killer's house, and they actually mobilized right there in that street where the police were called, and they had a standoff when the police officers didn't do anything. But then also you had another protest that was going on. To me, I believe protests don't work anymore. I honestly don't. I honestly do not believe that protest works at all. So what is the course of action to when something like this happens again? Is it now we just going to give you the same energy that you give us, or we're just going to just continue just scream his name as we walk the streets?
Well, I think that we have to have some solidarity, and not just in the moment at the time. We have to have some long range solidarity that has a plan in place. But what happens in various groups that attempt to be for the people, they forget once they get their degrees, once they get in corporate America, once they have a sense of self-satisfaction of overcoming, quote unquote, the barriers and hurdles that Black people encounter, they forget because now they have friends, and that breaks down the ability to have a solid structure with a solid mission regardless of your current circumstances. And that is the problem over and over again with groups. They start out because of a need, because of a situation like with Arbery, but it'll water down.
Yeah. But anybody else want to add on to that, Woodard? Bragg, if you want to add on to it.
Hey, I just want to ask, have y'all heard the sister, Candace Owens? Have you heard her speak out recently?
My gosh, don't get me started on her.
And I think Teach is what she was talking about, people with degrees and whatnot, you know, they forget where they come from. I think that's exactly the type of person that who she's speaking on. You know, Candace Owens, you know, a Black conservative who has just gone overboard, above and beyond her platform to push the narrative that this young man was wrong in all ways, you know. And I just think it's sad that she has taken this platform and used it, you know, to be so evil. That's, you know, so I understand what Teacher's coming, where she's coming from on that situation.
What about you? Go ahead, Teach.
I'll be brief. It is just people like her that she does not love herself because she does not self-identify. And when you don't love yourself, you're always looking for others to validate you and to love you. And she, like so many others, is going to learn the hard way that the only love and the best love that she could get is from self.
Yeah. What about you, Woodard? What you got to add on to it?
It's like y'all said earlier, you know, you always have to remember where you came from. I tell people that all the time. Don't ever forget where you came from. You made it up somewhere, reach back and grab somebody, bring them up with you, but never forget where you came from.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. one thing, and we can all agree, and even the people that's watching, you heard of the crab in the barrel mentality, where we just climbing over each other and we just taking each other down. And I actually thought about it this morning before I went to work, and I said, how about I just flip that? What happens if it was the crab that's on top of the barrel that was actually trying to help their fellow people to come up? Like, look, man, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I mean, it's like you can't do to one side what you can't do to the other.
Yeah.
And everybody was exactly what y'all said. Y'all just hit the nail on the head. But this is where I'm at when it comes to protesting and all that stuff. And it all circles around, and I know there's a lot of football people that's going to be watching this, but honestly, I don't care. It goes back to Kaepernick, what he was saying. It goes back to that. This is why he protests. This is why he took the stand for what he did. I think it was like a couple weeks ago, I was actually talking to somebody about this. He said that I understood where Kaepernick was coming from. But he shouldn't have did it at the game. I almost got into it with a soldier in San Antonio over this. Because first of all, you're not supposed to be talking about politics in uniform anyway. So I corrected them, but we did it in a professional way, because I told him, I said, we can talk like this, but we can't do that in uniform. He said, so yeah, I apologize and all that. So I said, I respect your opinions as much as you respect mine, but next time we can't do that in uniform. And I took responsibility for that, but not trying to get too much off the beaten path. This is what he would want. This is what he wanted the attention to be on. This is why he did what he did in football. When the national anthem came on, where he took the knee. People forget the NFL is watched, as you can see, Alan got the Lions stuff all in the background. Lucky I don't got my Cowboy stuff there, So anyways, but the simple fact is, millions of people, including millions others around the world, watch the NFL. And I asked them I asked that same man the same exact question. Would you know that, police is killing black people left and right? Would you know that? What Kaepernick is representing? And he had to sit there and he had to think about it. He said, I know that's going on. See, and that's the problem. You know that is going on, but you choose not to do your own investigation and researching deeper to know these cases like this one right here. You know that is going on, but you choose not to see actually what is going on. That makes sense. And that's the point where I'm at. And then us just protesting all peacefully and all that stuff, it just sickens me. I'm like this. I'm going to give you the energy that you give me. It's like what my mama and daddy said. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And I don't know how religious everybody else is here, so hopefully I don't offend nobody, even though my show is said exclusively pissed. But I'm not going to allow you to hit me, and then I'm going to turn around and just going to say, I'm just going to pray for you. No, I'm going to knock your ass out. Because first of all, you're not just going to put your hands on me and don't expect no repercussions back. Or you're going to keep on hitting me while I'm walking away. And I think it's about time that we start giving the energy that has been given to us. And that's where I stand. If anybody got anything to add on that.
Yeah. Hey, to answer your question, you said, what can we do? I know protesting won't do it, but I think we just probably need to get back to, it's almost like we're in the old, in the 60s and 70s, Jim Crow era. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we can come together, but like you said, we got to meet force with force. You start getting some more armed people out there of color, you know, things will be a little different. And I think, you know, sadly, you know, more people will probably lose their life. But until we come together and make a strong stand, unfortunately, these things are going to keep on happening. You know, we saw it back from Trayvon Martin. I mean, it's ridiculous that there's too many names to just name that this has happened over and over and over again. So until we quit stepping on our own toes and make a strong stance, it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah. Anything you got to add with it?
Yeah, man. I also thinking about, you know, when the whole Trayvon thing went off, what happened. And I started thinking about, you know, everybody was protesting, but what happened later on after they protested? They started rioting, burning people's businesses and everything else up. So it you know, I don't agree with protesting because we can never have a peaceful protest. Yes, I understand it's an injustice that happened, but the minute you start rioting, destroying things, burning up things, and just acting completely ignorant, you pretty much tarnish that person's name in a way. You pretty much let whoever did the wrong, you just justify what they did was wrong. That was right for them in a way, because you decided you want to commit a crime to get your point across.
So it's like going back to and this is and Teach and Bragg. This goes back to your time where you remember the LA riots after the case for what's his name, the guy that said can we all just get Rodney King. Yeah, it goes back, and also Wood, that's your time too, Wood. I'm sorry, you're not as young as me like it used to, but going back to those times where it was you didn't want to drive down LA. You didn't want to drive over there because you had random people getting taken out their cars and getting beat up and all that stuff. Yeah, so well, I can see your point right there. But Cheech, what you got to add on to this? I know you brewing over there, so I gotta hear what you guys say.
Well, it goes back to what I said in my last comment. See, Rodney King and Ferguson, all those riots were knee-jerked, unplanned, short-term reactions. We just reacted to what was happening. But if we would plan and execute, we would have a strategy in place. And that's where we tend to falter and fail. We can't develop a sustained strategy to address this issue. I have a strategy that I dare not say on Facebook or in the public.
You gonna run for office?
I know it will work, but our people, they may be almost ready for it. And what it requires is the same thing that it requires for you to get up and go to work or leave your house or stay in your house, because danger can happen wherever. And it just takes courage. It simply takes courage and determination. But we lose our courage and we lose our determination based on where we are personally in our life. Nobody wants to give up personal comforts. You know, I live in the suburbs. I have a 6-figure salary, and I'm on the who's list in the East. I'm on the who's list in the West. I'm on the who's list in Hollywood. And I made it, and you know,
you don't want to mess it up.
How you get it?
Yeah, and right. I don't want to mess up what I got going on over here. Yeah,
right. We're not ready.
Yeah, so
we get upset. Because me, you know me, I take every black man, depending on your age, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, my brother, my son, my nephew. You all related to me. I could have had you. I could have married you. I could have bore you. I could be your sister. So when I see the black man as every man in my life, whether I know him or not, I am a part of him. And he is a part of me. But we are scared. It's a certain message that I would love to give to the gangbangers or whoever shooting up each other in Chicago. I would love to talk to them. I would love to talk to them. They actually could be the ones that could solve this problem. But there's one problem. They scared. They don't have the courage. They don't have the determination.
Whoa, that's some strong words. I know this gonna get picked up by Fox News now. They definitely gonna be picking this up. Oh, this unknown show called the Alamonte Show completely pisses, provoking violence, which we're not.
I didn't say. Did I say anything about violence?
No,
I
I'm
didn't
just
say
saying.
anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they probably gonna pick this up. If they do, hi, my name is Don Alamonte Morris. How you doing? But still. So not only just what we're talking about now with this case in Georgia, then we got this disease that's out here that's going on right now. And Cheech, we was talking about it 2 days ago. We were talking about it on Wednesday. Now you got the, social distancing is a difference in how police are conducting themselves, definitely in New York, where they were handing out, they on the suburbs, they on the other side of New York, and they handing out masks. But then when you go to the places like the Bronx or Brooklyn, you see blacks are getting beat up like beyond all end. I'm gonna start this off with Woodard. When you see how police officers has a different treatment for the people, as a police officer, how does that make you feel? And if you was on the streets of New York right now, Woodard, and you was on the NYPD, what's the first thing you would do if you see one of your fellow officers doing those improper, stop and frisk? Because that's basically what it is.
And they would get reported in a heartbeat. I would report. I wouldn't care about my career. I would report them because they're doing something that's wrong. Something that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't stop somebody just to frisk them just because they look suspicious or something. No, what we should do is sit and watch them, see what they're doing, because they could just be walking down the street, just could be minding their own business, could just be tired, could be just multiple things could be wrong with somebody or what they're thinking about. So you can't just stop somebody and frisk them just because you just feel like you can. No, it just that's to me you violating their rights in a way doing it. Just stopping somebody and frisking them just because they look a certain way. Right. No, I see somebody walking around with their pants all sagging and everything. I'm not gonna walk up and say, "Oh, they've been in prison. They're a thug." I'm not gonna think that, because that's just the style. Some people still walk around with their pants sagging. So you just can't really generally categorize everyone just because of the way they act, the way they dress, the way they look. So if I see somebody doing that, I report them.
So same question, but I'm gonna modify for you, Alan. So you see a lot of people who see these actions happen, they're recording. And unfortunately, it's us Black men that is majority of the time recording this, recording the videos and seeing this happen, knowing that we could step in. If you've seen this happen, let's say it's you and your wife and y'all just casually walking, and you see this police officer harassing this Black man, and you see all these Black men, and then also I'm put some Black women up in there, and then also whoever recording, what would you do in that instance?
Well, I've watched a lot of different shows, whatnot, these First Amendment type videos where they're auditing their First Amendments. And a lot of things, what you pick up on that is it's okay to record out in public. No matter what the police tell you, you are allowed to record what you can see with your open eye. And so if I suspect that there's something abusive going on while I'm recording, I'll have my wife to, probably get on the horn at the same time to try to call 911 to make sure they are aware of what's going on, just to make a public record of it, that, hey, I see your officer doing something that's out of line while I'm recording. So there are different avenues that we can take, but the main thing is that we have to have the knowledge that we are allowed to record in public as far as our eyes can see. They have the burden to make sure that they create privacy or whatever. We don't. So we as regular citizens, we should be recording at all times to make sure we hold those police officers accountable.
And then Teach, this probably gonna be like a softball, but I know you're gonna tear this question up with your answer. With seeing, because have you seen any of these? First of all, before I ask this question, have you seen any of these videos?
I seen the one where they were a young lady was with her child on the subway, and they were telling her to put on her mask, and her mask was on her chin, and I think her complaint was that she couldn't breathe or something, and about 6 of them wrestled her down in front of the child and all that kind of carrying on. I seen that one. Okay. I think understanding the nature of the beast that we're dealing with, they're just going to do things like that. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just exacerbated with seeing, like, say if it's like 1 or 2 police officers and there's like hundreds of people, I think they can be effective. But when there's many police officers and, a handful of people, they can't be as effective. But I guess I'm thinking like a gangster: get in and get out, execute your move, get in and get out.
Right.
Because I think, especially when it's excessive force, I've seen a situation where police wrestled down a very pregnant woman.
I saw that
7
video.
to 8 months pregnant, and that's just uncalled for. I don't care what she has done, but you're gonna handle her in a way to cause her to lose her child. Everybody in that community should have beat those police officers' ass. That's it, and that's all. Get in, get out. By the time the next squad come, he already got his lick. Everybody go home. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel, because they just keep getting away with it. And it's like they have no filter. They have nothing to say. Should I treat this person humane? It's just nothing there to say, let's treat this person humane. Everything to say, I am a beast, so I'm going to treat you like a beast. And especially, I just have a real issue with police officers manhandling children 6 and 7 years old, wrestling them down on the ground as if they were, 35 or 40.
Yeah,
come on now.
I remember that one video. I think it was like four years ago, where it was like a police officer that came to I know it was in Texas, so would it help me out? He actually came to a pool party, and he grabbed the little girl, literally had swung her down to the ground and had his knee in her back. And not to mention, she was in a 2-piece bikini.
Right.
Yeah, and you just kicked me back to that. So I'm gonna put us black men on trial. So Alan Woodard, bear with me. So, like I said, going along with what I asked both Alan and Jason, with the black men that's recording and just on standby of this happening, do you believe that we don't step up when we need to? Basically, going back to what you're saying, that we're scared.
Yes, because you see something going wrong, as a man, you should least try to say something to change the situation that's happening. Especially if you see somebody. Oh, it's like if I see a female getting jumped on, I'm gonna say something. If I see anybody getting beat on, I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna sit back and just record and say, "Oh, I got the video. I got the video." I've seen too many of those videos where people say, "Oh, I got the video. I got it on recording." Well, yes, that's good to have it on recording, but
it's a double-edged sword in my eye. It's
hold on.
Go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because, yeah, we as citizens, we sit back and we see things going on, but we have family as well. So if we jump in, this police officer wrestling somebody that we see, or, whatever the case may be, yeah, we can say something, but at what point do we jeopardize ourselves and our family? We have to be it's a thin line because, like I said, we want to go out and help. That's just our nature, to be able to want to help our brothers and sisters out there. But do we sacrifice ourselves and our family for the sake of somebody else? And you don't really know the situation. You don't know what caused what, it's a double-edged sword. So you have to be smart and know what the circumstances are. And, I guess when pick and choose your battles, I would say.
All right. What about you, Teach?
Well, I would have to still say the same thing. You have to find the opportunity. If you can get in and get out, but if it's not safe for you to get in and get out, then, the video man has its place in at least recording the incident. What I don't like about these videos, because I am a historian, the first thing you want to do is document place, day, and time. Half the time we never know where this is taking place, what year it is, nothing, and then they don't even take the due diligence to just focus on the subject. They want to pan on the ground and you watch the sky. Yeah. Everything was happening. We actually sometimes lose the critical element because they're so excited with talking to other people around versus being serious about capturing the essence of what's happening in the video. So it is like Mr. Bragg said, that you think about your family. You think about the consequences of your level of involvement.
So, which news controls all? If news control all, I'm hopefully I'm controlling a little bit of something I'm playing. But all right, so now we're gonna shift to politics. We know the craziness that's going on. We all quarantining. Unfortunately, I'm still, going to work, but I'm being careful about it because not many soldiers are working there, so that's a good thing. But many of the other people, civilians, are losing their jobs and all that stuff. And even with the disease, we're being hit the most. For some reason, it seems like anything that goes bad, we're hit the most. So, and Teach, I know you, once again, you talked about it a little bit on Wednesday. Can you elaborate more on what we was talking about on Wednesday on like why when any disaster that happens in this country, we, the African American community, we get hit the worst?
Okay. There's a couple of things to look at. One, the numbers, the percentages, the way the numbers are reported. Most people can't count. Most people can't add. Most people definitely can't do algebra, trigonometry, and all these sophisticated formulations. So you can play with the numbers and make the numbers look horrendous. And I'll give you an example. In my state, they say, oh, it's 40% African Americans dying of this disease. And then they give you the total number of cases in the city, and the total number of cases in the state, the total number of cases in the county. And then you add up the numbers and you get the actual number of African Americans that were deceased by this disease. And then they add in something called per capita, which gives you a whole distortion of all of the figures. And when you look at it, they'll say 40%, but how much is 40%? 40% may equal 10 people, but 40% and thousands of people have died. Your mind thinks, oh, thousands of people are dying, but it does not translate to those 10 people that actually died. So that's one way to instill fear, by using different formulas and throwing out numbers. And I'll give you a further example. Over the weekend, this one particular weekend, they said 590 people died on Saturday. On Sunday, the number of people that died was 625. So what did you hear me say? Did you hear me? Did you understand me that 1,100 people died between Saturday and Sunday, or 35 more people died since Saturday?
That's a good question.
Okay, the way it's phrased, it would seem like between Saturday and Sunday, approximately 1,100 people died, 500 and something and 600 and something, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, it was 35 people. 590 people died on Saturday. 35 more people died between Saturday and Sunday. So the total number of 625 people for that 2-day spread. But it's the way they report it, you would come away thinking, wow, 1,100 people died.
Yeah.
A lot, right. So they play with the numbers and they play with the mind, because most people, unless you're a mathematician or like my mother that can add and calculate, just like that, you would hear that that's so many people. So when they use the percentages, they say 50%, and you think that's half of whatever. Then they say thousands, of people die. So you think, whatever half of 50% is. But then when they add in that per capita, which is a whole nother dimension, actually the numbers get smaller, but when it's spoken in your mind, the numbers get bigger. So when you add up and they say for our state, we got a 3% rate. But for our city, you got a 40% rate. For the nation, you got a 0.1% rate. But because it is purposeful for them to put a face to the virus, they distort the figures to make it look like African Americans are leading in death. Now that's one issue we have with this. And the reason why they wanted the African American to be the face of this virus is to substantiate their reasoning to target Africa for the vaccination. See, all this is about money. They got money for research to create the virus. They get money, and this is the end game. They get money to create the vaccine and to sell the virus. All right?
Mhm.
So they want the numbers in the African American community to be high, to substantiate for them to go into Africa to use them as the research for the vaccine. But what has happened, Africa, one, has contained the virus, and they're using alternative methods to keep the people healthy who have contracted the virus. I believe it was my goodness. I think it was Eritrea. They announced today that they have contained the virus, and of all the people that contracted the virus, they were overexcited to announce that they did not have any casualties of the virus.
Yeah, I actually
So
looked at the
Africa-
figures. Yeah, I looked at the figures, and they actually have a better recovery rate. Way better.
Yes. And so all of this is nullifying Africa as a target for the vaccine. And this is why the WHO organization did not want to validate or support the herbal methods, because WHO is also part of the big pharma company. They sign off on who's going to get the money to develop the vaccine. So they're connected.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it wasn't until they said that the last report I got, 37 African nations have joined with Madagascar to use the herbal remedy as a preventative method and a curative method for their people. And therefore, they are refusing the vaccine. And even earlier on this year, they had opened up or attempted to open up a trial location in the country of Togo. And those people decided, no, we don't want that vaccine here. And they burnt down the clinic, because too many times in Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania, Bill Gates have gone into these countries with a vaccine for one thing or the other. And now, years later, finding out that these vaccines were laced with infertility ingredients. So now these young girls that were vaccinated, they're sterile. They cannot bring forth the next generation.
Oh, wow.
So the Africans are self-identifying, and they are coming into a place of believing in themselves, because up until now, Africans believed in imports. Whatever the West say is best, we're going to go with what the West says. But with this, the West has bumbled through this virus. They have fumbled, and their numbers are high. And so Africans are saying, hey, you can't control this. What you are doing is not working. What we are doing is working. So therefore, we reject Western authority in this particular matter, because you have shown that you're not the expert in containing the COVID virus.
All right, just to get in touch with my boy, been a while since I heard you, man. About it being fake news, I don't want to say that it's fake news. There is a disease out there. There is a corona disease that's actually killing people. Just because the numbers are pretty, let's say, in the words of Teach, yes, the numbers are, they make it more than what it is. I'm just gonna put it like that. And so, but still, you have to be careful out there. You still have to be aware of people that may or may not have it, go out there with the mask and all that stuff. So just because, yes, what they say, what men lie, women lie, numbers don't, still does not give you the excuse to just go out there and just be like, oh, it's just like the flu. And then you realize, oh, snap, I can't breathe. But Brad, do you have anything to add on that? I see that you was ready to put your 2 cents up in there. So here you go.
No. I don't have nothing to add, brother. I was just wondering, Teach, I know she said Wednesday that she's overcome coronavirus, and I believe her mother was the one who overcame coronavirus as well, or somebody else. But when we hear stuff that's oh, it's a fake virus, it's not fake to people who's lost loved ones. It's not fake to those who been affected directly. So I just don't believe that it's something fake. It may be something that's bigger behind it, pushing an agenda or whatnot, but definitely not a fake virus.
No, it's out here. I mean, it happened close here, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's up here at Fort Lewis. It's real. Definitely Washington was the first hotbed up here before New York was even like known as the one with the most cases. Here in Washington, it was the hotbed then. And that you have a good night, James. He hitting on the bed. Thank you for tuning in. But I remember when Vice President Pence, he came over here and he gave that be nice, Morris. He gave that speech about how he was going to help out with with Washington and the supplies and all that stuff. So before New York, it was over here in Washington. It's closer than you think. What you got to add, man?
Man, just for me in my fire district, I got several people with the coronavirus right now, and it is pretty much real. I know a lot of people say it's fake. They wish everything go back to normal, and I do wish things go back to normal. But what it is, no one is taking it serious, especially like here in Texas. Some places they say place, and in the way they're doing it, they're making almost every job is mission essential. So no one is really at home. All they did was let the kids have out school longer. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone's still right up and down the road. Everybody's still doing the same crazy stuff, out drinking and driving, having wrecks, getting arrested. Well, not getting arrested, but getting tickets and everything. Only thing it is, no one will go to jail for a misdemeanor. Only thing they go to jail for is a felony. That's it. But it just it's crazy. This whole thing is,
But Justin, I'm looking at the chat room right now. I'm talking to my boy Justin. Y'all can jump in when y'all want to. Like I said, this is an open discussion for everybody, and everybody's opinion. I won't say it. Well, I'm gonna say it. Opinions is all welcome, but for you to say that there's more research that more people die from the flu, like, come on, man, like, really? Like, the numbers may be exaggerated, but there's a lot of people that's getting affected every day, and they still don't know the symptoms. Like right now, like I don't know if I have I don't know if I have it. Alan don't know if he had it. Woodard don't know if he had it. Teach, I knew she we were talking about it the other day. She believed she had it, and so we just can't go off and sit there and say this is like another flu, because if it was like another flu, we wouldn't have these much cases going on right here, right now. So that's a bit of a stretch. And then also where you get your research. And that's another thing that I want to put on this show too. The research, just because, and I'm not even going to blame social media, because I think we give social media just be a scapegoat. You got a lot of websites out here that think they the source of everything. And they read that because I'm a doctor. Believe me, and then come to find out that it's fabricated. Now I'm kind of gonna go on a little tirade. So forgive me, y'all. So I'm gonna go on a little tirade. So you may not trust CNN, you may not trust Fox News, you may not trust MSNBC or whatever news that's out there. But let me tell you something. Google is there for a reason. Just because you could just put it on the search bar and the first thing that pop up does not make it reliable. It does not make it reliable. Like that, y'all probably heard of this video called Plandemic. It's about if y'all get a chance, y'all should look at that piece of shit. Excuse my language. It's basically about a doctor who was kicked out. She was basically shunned out of the community of docs. And now was on this documentary. And she's saying that Dr. Fauci, he's working with Bill Gates, and that he was the one that actually screwed her over. And this is why he's in power. And he's trying to get Bill Gates his vaccine to get approved so it can be sent out to everybody. She also made this conspiracy theory that she was saying that wearing a mask, listen to me, wearing a mask get you more sicker than you not wearing a mask at all. She literally said that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So me doing my due diligence, I did my research and went on, I forgot, even Men's Health reported on this conspiracy theory video, this YouTube video that actually got taken down by YouTube, got taken down by Facebook, got taken down by all social media platforms. Now it's on some like pirate like version of YouTube. And it's being shown. And I just love the red pill people that come out of nowhere sitting there saying, yes, telling the truth. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, somebody's finally telling the truth. But then when you go on reliable sources, and I have the article saved, reliable sources that sitting there saying this doctor was kooky in the head anyway, that she already had failed experiments that actually injured people. And they say she was always a kook. And I just love people who are with these communities that think they got these degrees, that they just know it all. But then when you look at their history and seeing that they got kicked out of that prestigious community, and people sitting there saying like, yo, you don't trust this person. Now all of a sudden they go on a tour and sitting there just saying, well, this was going on in the medical field. This is what's going on. This is what they don't want to tell you. This is all the numbers that they had that's wrong and all that stuff. And then you come to find out all the things they've been saying about this woman turns out to be true. And that is the biggest issue with this, not even just country, but the world nowadays. And also, I like to mainly put it on our people too as well. And I'm going to use the video, unfortunately, that we watched earlier in the show, for example, because many of us don't do our research, and they will look at that because the first thing when we see that video, what happened to that young man? First off, we're going to be like, yo, that's wrong. He got killed. He got slaughtered. That's all they know. But if they would watch that video, they would have changed their mind like this, because the guy said, I'm a cop. I understand the situation. I know what I'm doing. And that would make them question themselves like, maybe I'm wrong and this person is right. But we have to do our due diligence and do our research. And I'm not just saying we as Black people, I mean everybody. Like Justin, I love you, man. You're my dog. But I mean, you gotta understand that when you say fake news, where are you getting your news from? You know what I mean? When you say fake news, okay, where you get your news from? Where you getting it from?
He's probably getting it off of Fox News. That's FAUX.
But you know,
I just want to say, man, you know, our president, 45, has sent such a mixed message with this whole pandemic. You know, he's supposed to be the leader of the free world, and you know, he's telling his people in the West Wing they have to wear masks. Yet he's walking around, he's doing ceremonies with no mask. His leader of the pandemic is not wearing a mask. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot of chaos and it's a lot of mixed messages from the top. You know, so it's gonna just roll downhill. You know, this whole thing is a joke. You know, they want to blame President Obama for not leaving a playbook when he actually did. You know, and you know, it's people say it's fake because that's the sense that they get from the message being put out by the president. You know, he's pushing this whole narrative and sending mixed messages. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, it's like I said, when you say fake news, what other sources are you relying on? Because you got to rely on something.
Right.
You have to. So I'm not saying that what your news and source, whatever you get, is wrong. But when it turns out to be factually wrong, then I'm gonna have to get at you. I mean, because people can have stats all day. They can download a chart and be like, "Yo, you see this? Pepsi is better than Coca-Cola." But do you realize it's a freaking chart that was probably made by somebody in the damn basement and it had nothing to do? Could be a project or something like that. But and seeing that's the thing, they only appeal to data and stats that goes on to their views. There are times where, I admit that I'm wrong. I always do on this show. I say if I turn out to be wrong, even if in the past show I turn out to be wrong, I come on the show and I'm like, hey, y'all was right. I was wrong. I take it on the chin. I take it like a man. I was wrong. But if I turn out to be factually right and you're wrong, I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand on it.
The problem you have is a lot of these websites and news sources, I should say, they're satire. And you know, and there's a disclaimer saying, hey, we are here for entertainment purposes or opinion based and whatnot. But people don't know to look into that. They don't know how to differentiate between what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
So they take and they see all these different things, and you know, and they cherry picking what they think is real and what's not, depending on their narrative. And you know, most of the stuff that they believe wouldn't even pass a spell test. And if they was to write a research paper, they couldn't cite this garbage, or the professor would throw it out because it's not credible sources.
Right.
So
like,
you know, it's just unbelievable the garbage that people believe. You know, just like you said, just do some real research and not just the first few things you see pop up on Wikipedia or WikiLeaks and all this other garbage that's out there. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and see, like, look, we know that the mainstream media they got an agenda. They do. You know, they owned by like billionaires and trillionaires. We get it, but who said that you can just, you know, say that it's all fake? Because you do got reporters out there in the field that actually do their job, that works for these conglomerates, and people got to understand that. I understand, you know, one apple spoils the bunch, but then you got that one person that's trying to do right. You got that. Granny making me laugh right here, but you do got those handful of reporters that actually want to get the news out there to the people. But does that make them fake news because they work for a company that you don't like? Does that make them fake? See, these are questions you got to ask yourself. Not only just a person, but also for the reporter to be like, should I stay with them knowing that I'm associated with them, or I need them so I can push these stories out to let them know at least I do care for getting the accurate sources and the accurate like reporting out there. But Teach, I know you were about to say something. What you got?
Well, most people have a group mentality. Whatever group they're associated with, whatever their leader says is acceptable, they normally go with that. And their own personal fact finding, it just takes too much headspace to complete. So, given that, you know, depending on what group you're associated with, you're just going to have their opinion, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Just, hey, if my mama believe it, I believe it too. If my daddy believe it, I believe it too.
Or in other words, if his mama named him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. So I got you.
Exactly.
So, in the words of Arsenio Hall from Coming to America, he said there say if Mama call him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. So I'm just gonna stick on that. But yeah, this disease is real. It's really real. I mean, yes, the numbers may be fabricated to the point to fearmonger people and all that stuff, but it is a disease out here. So
yeah, the disease is real. Where it came from is fake. How it got into the community is fake. And it was, for me, it was generated in a lab. It was put in China. It spread around the world by various means. And the end game is how we can make money off of this vaccine.
yeah. What about you, Woodard?
That's all the fake part of it.
Yeah.
That's all the fake part. The people dying from it, that's very real.
Yeah. But what you feel about, man?
The whole thing with the whole virus, you know, I've been looking at certain things on where it started at. You know, it started in China. When you look at all the places that started up here in the U.S., it's mostly places with major airports.
Mm.
So, you know, someone from China got it, came back to the U.S., went to the airport, infected people, then they left that airport, went to the next airport, or drove home. So that's where they started figuring out different places. Because like here in Texas, you look at it, we had it in Dallas, had the biggest number of it. Houston has a big number. San Antonio, Austin. And then you got Fort Hood got a little number of it spreading out bigger. So it's just mostly places I'm looking at. It's like major airports. That's what the areas that's been targeted look like to me.
Yeah.
International airports.
Yes.
Because when they first shut down all of the borders, they came up and said, well, we're going to shut down all the flights from China, but we're going to route all the flights to Detroit. And they said Detroit was one of the top 10 international airports. So all the flights were coming to Detroit. And then right after they announced that, I think about 10 days later, they said, oh, Detroit is going to be a hotbed for the coronavirus. How can you predict that? They said the reason why they chose Detroit Metro Airport because it was one of the best airports for quarantine safety. It was rated in the top 10 in the nation. So if it has the top 10 rating and they route all the flights from China to Detroit, they routed the virus to Detroit to be a hotbed.
Yeah.
Now, if they would have said, well, Detroit is a flimsy airport, we're taking our chances. But for them to say, no, we're going to route all the flights from China to Detroit. No other state is going to get a flight from China. All of them are going to come into Detroit. Yeah, they brought it to Detroit. It's simple.
And another thing I've been looking at is this virus has been here in the U.S. ever since late October. Because if everybody can think about it, in October timeframe, right around Halloween, everybody was getting sick, but you go to the doctor, they say they don't know what it is.
Exactly. That's what happened with my mother.
They don't know why things, because I was sick back in October, November. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink anything. I just felt like crap all the time. And I went to the doctor, and they said, "Well, we don't know what it is. You don't have the flu." They checked for strep. They checked all kind of flu strains. Didn't find anything.
That's right.
And eventually, I just got better from it. So you think about it now. Most people who went through it and had it back in just last year. That's why they call it COVID-19, because it's happened last year. And they just now reporting it now.
It's crazy.
So the numbers actually probably is higher than what they reporting now. And a lot of places not reporting what they really have. Like in Texas, I rung the bell on a couple of counties that when I'm sitting in my conference calls every week and listen to everybody talk. And my wife worked at the prison here in Texas. And the prison was putting out, they have no one in the TDCJ system that has the coronavirus. And my wife's telling me, they got inmates sick, they got staff members sick. So I started snitching. I told my medical director, he told the governor, because I'm sorry, he's not gonna be at my house. He's not gonna take out my
Right.
because
Right.
organizations don't want to do the right thing. And even the county I live
Mhm.
in, they didn't want to report what they really had, which I already knew they had people in the county, but they wasn't reporting it. They're trying to make it something like, oh, it's not in our county, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So that's
it's
you
crazy.
know, the numbers are, to me, the numbers are completely wrong, because the number is
Mhm.
actually higher than what they say it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's, yes, people recovered from it. That number is pretty high, but you look at every day, you still got new people being diagnosed with it every day. It hasn't been a 14-day down spiral of it like CDC recommended. It's still going up every day in certain
Mhm.
places.
So
Just
you're
like today, they said by June 1st, it's going to be 100,000 people die from this. By June 1st, in a couple of weeks.
so you
But-
you telling me it's not going to disappear with the heat?
Hell no. I mean, no. Sorry about that. No.
Damn. I mean, I
Get your-
thought it was going to disappear
Get
with the
your
heat.
bleach latte.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give it some Lysol in a little bit. I'm gonna spike it.
Right.
Do you have Lysol?
Shoot,
Because I have not been able to find Lysol yet.
I don't think anybody like here.
I don't think they're manufacturing it.
Here on Post. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is, and I believe both. Yeah, I can believe Jason and Al can agree with me on here. How far are you from a Post, Bragg?
I'm right here at Fort Campbell, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay, so you still there, and how far are you from Fort Hood, Jason?
I can throw a rock and hit the back of Fort Hood.
Oh, right there. So
Wow.
the commissary here. Oh my God, she got a license.
I don't know. Well, I bought this can back in November. I was actually hospitalized with having pneumonia. And so I bought this can, and this was the last time I seen Lysol, November 2019, right? So when they came out with this COVID stuff, somebody suggested that, and I probably can't angle it right, but the COVID virus is already listed on the label. Now, they didn't talk about COVID-19 until January. I said I bought this in November 2019, but it's already listed on the label as one of the things that it Lysol can kill. And ever since they announced it, I have not seen any Lysol in any store at any time at all.
And that's just like toilet paper. There's none. Like here on Post right now, there is no freaking disinfectants at all. I'm lucky I got some hand sanitizer like right here. This at 7-Eleven. Then the mask, I got this mask right here. It's a pretty good mask that I got from 7-Eleven too. So I'm trying to tell everybody, there's a Dollar Tree that's not far from here. I said, y'all need to start going there. And then somebody was like, no, dog, they clean that out. I said, for real? They're like, yeah, they cleaned it out. And usually I would go in the Dollar General, not Dollar General, but like the Dollar Tree, and I would get, body wash and all that stuff when I was going in the field. Got all that stuff, and so I didn't have to worry about coming to the commissary. So I just stacked up there. When I tell you that the aisles was bare, the aisles was bare. Right now, you can't, if you want to get like packs of chicken, you only got to get 2 packs. You can't get as many as you want to now. Because now's a food shortage that's about to happen too right now. And it's crazy.
In Ohio, you're limited one package of poultry, beef, or pork. In Michigan, you're limited 2 packages of each meat category. And this is the thing, people they got the stimulus check and went out and bought some Jordans or whatever. One person said they spent their money in less than 24 hours, and I said you got to read the handwriting on the wall. When they report on the news that they were breaking all of the eggs instead of getting them to market, when they say that they're going to kill all the chickens because they don't have enough people to process the chicken, when they say they're going to kill all of the pork because they don't have people to process it, and it's on a different what did they say? It was on a different a different chain. It was on a restaurant chain and not on the great grocery store chain, so they had to kill all the pork. And I said, all that means is that they're creating an economy of scarcity to increase the prices. That's Econ 101.
Oh my gosh.
And people like, oh no, it's gonna be, it's gonna be the same, whatever. Already, a pack of hamburger that used to go for $5 is now $20.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna need that stimulus money to pay for these new grocery prices that we're getting. And
Yes.
the big story, or the big twist, the lie, smoke and mirrors, whatever. This lady, she so sophisticatedly explained why the farmers couldn't sell the chickens to the grocery store chain, or the farmer couldn't get the vegetables to the grocery store chain, because these were all commercial growers. They grew for the restaurant chains where all the restaurants were closed down. So therefore, they didn't have the quote unquote connections to get potatoes to the Piggly Wiggly, or chickens to what's that store? Lions, whatever.
Food
grocery
Line.
store.
Food
Line.
Yeah, I
Or
missed
in our era, Farmer Jack. So it's like all of a sudden these growers don't know how to just switch gears and get it to the market. And then they say, well, why don't you make it available so people in the area ain't just come pick up some chickens and kill them themselves, or get a hog and kill it themselves, give it to the people. Oh no, this is classic capitalism. Capitalism says money and profits above people. If I raise a product for the purpose of a cash crop, when I get in a tight, I'm not going to give it to you. For me to give it to you as a grower would mean that I'm a socialist. And I'm not a socialist. I'm a capitalist. So therefore, I will destroy my crop and create scarcity so I can sell it to you for a higher price, because now it's in demand, because now you're afraid and you're going to pay top dollar to get that same chicken that you used to purchase for $2.50. Now you're willing to pay $15 for that chicken. I don't need it to sell as many chickens to make the same amount of money.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
And everybody blew their stimulus check, not knowing that the prices would go up the next weekend.
Mm-hmm. And right now we hitting into the. I know I kept y'all all here long. I appreciate y'all that we sat here and have a great conversation, a great show. Hopefully, you know what? This is something that we should do. Like, I won't say every Friday, but each Friday. Y'all wouldn't mind doing that?
I wouldn't mind.
Not at all.
I'm in the house. I'm under quarantine.
I got you. My border, he just went off. Hopefully he come back, because right now we're in the final segments of the show, because I know right now it's coming close to sleep time over there. It's like what, 10 something right now, or 9?
Yeah, 11:15.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all staying.
Almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all staying on the show with me and coming on the show as well, and then also people tuning in and watching. So, which lead me to my next question that kind of slipped out my mind, because y'all was bringing up good points. So right now, the Democrats are trying to work on, I think they already put in the House on a new bill for a new round of stimulus checks. And a lot of the progressive side are ticked off because they want a recurring amount, But everything else is to, pay the essential workers, funding for the PPE, not PPE, but PPP, the protecting the pay for all the workers. And then also another one that I did not see, but I'm not surprised, is a bailout once again to big businesses. Now, a lot of people don't want to get into politics because, a lot of people are going to bash the Democrats anyway, or bash Republicans. Republicans say that the bill is going to be down on arrival. So with this second round of the stimulus checks, do you believe that there should be a recurring and not always bail out big business? You know what? Watch all that. Should the government bail out the people? I mean, we paid lots of taxes to the federal government and to the state. Is it time that all the money that they be given to these big businesses for their stupid dealings and all that stuff that they had to pay for, should they start doing that with us? Anybody got the floor?
Well, what my question is, will the money that we received so far, is that going to be earned income for next time we do our taxes in 2021? Is that going to be earned income? Because that was thrown out there. I still don't know. I need to do some more research on that. But people saying free money. No, I don't think it's going to be free money. I think it's going to be where we're going to pay it back in some form or fashion. But a lot of the people that didn't get relief, or that's small businesses, they're hurting, and they didn't get a lot of relief. So it's people out there, they need to relook at how they're going to distribute that and forget big business. They can survive. It's the small mom and pop shops that need the help.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
I agree. I agree. The small businesses took a big hit by closing down and not being able to do their business. And then depending on the nature of the business or the quality of their accounting system, really determined whether or not they were able to partake in that first round of money. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll have a chance the second go round. Whether or not the government should take care of us or bail us out, I don't know. I think if by them taking the lead in crippling our income, crippling our ability to earn for ourselves, yes, they should be there for us because we make the government what it is. We are the people, and our taxes are taking out of our paychecks to fund the government and all of its projects and agendas. So the first agenda should be us. Should it be $1,200? I think it was a nice bonus, but I think it could be much more. I understood one package, they were asking for $2,000 a month per person until the end of December. I think that's decent, especially if they're not going to immediately, if the people are sick with the virus or they have to care for people with the virus and they can't go back to their job, or if they were an employee of a small business and a business went out of business, and support the people. But I have seen people who were left out as individuals. I noticed one particular lady, she's a foster care mother, and so that's her work per se, but it's not work. So therefore, she doesn't qualify to file taxes, and the money that she receives is for the care of the children, so it's not her income. So she herself is just like falls in none of the categories. She doesn't receive Social Security or any other means of income. So people like her won't get anything, didn't get anything. So looking at ways to cover all of the citizens, because she did bear more expenses with the children being in the house, and even one of them was sick. And so she's a citizen. She has to buy groceries, maintain her rent, and so forth and so on. So
Gotcha.
that's just one instance. Mhm.
All right. So here's my final question to both of y'all. This is serious but funny at the same time. Are any of y'all going to start protesting at the state capitol that the state need to be reopened?
I'm in quarantine. And as much as, because I had the virus, actually 3 separate households, one household in Ohio, my daughter-in-law and children had the virus. She's a registered nurse. She works at the Children's Hospital, frontline worker, got it on the job, brought it home to everybody. My own household with my mother and my grandson, we all experienced it. And then my daughter's household also. She is also a nurse and front lines, got it at work, came home, gave it to everybody. I forgot my point.
Well, I'll help you out. So you're not going to be protesting no time soon to reopen the state.
Right. Oh, this was my point. Having had it, experiencing the households, other households, keeping in contact with them, I'm afraid to go outside. but I'm afraid to go outside. I had it. I made it through. It was a horrible experience. But I went outside for the first time and I felt like the world had changed. I felt like the world, and it did. It did.
So what about you, Bragg? You got your picket signs and everything ready?
I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. I see what's going on in Lansing, Michigan, where everybody's all the Trump supporters are doing their thing. So no, I won't be a part of that. Can't do it.
Gotcha. I just my honest opinion on that. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. They have the freedom to express their freedoms, by the First Amendment. But guess what? I got my First Amendment to say that you're a dumbass. And I believe we all have that right to tell them that, like, how stupid it is. It could be more serious things that you can take your weapons up there for to scare your freaking politicians to reopen the state, or do some push-ups and some crunches outside the gym just because the gyms aren't closed. Do you understand when you opened up a gym, you sweat? I mean, even though they got like the alcohol wipes and all that stuff, you got people that come on. For anybody who's been to a gym before, it's real nasty. You got people that are real nasty. You got people that will just, when you sit there doing push-ups or whatever, will fart while they walk in, you smell it, and you just look at them, and they just look back at you like, what? I mean, it's really some nasty people when it comes to things like that. But like I said, it all circles back to Kaepernick. Because y'all sit there and you spit on that man. You sit there and say, why you protest in the middle of the game? And by the way, you was a garbage quarterback. But now it's hurting you, either hurting your pockets or hurting your hair. Now all of a sudden, hey, reopen the state. I'm hungry, 1. 2, I need my hair cut. I need my nails did. And then I think one of y'all brought up Woodard, but he's gone now, brought up the Nikes, where everybody, our own people, stood in line for Jordans. It pains me and it sickens me. I mean, it's like we all can wait. You can wait. I know I can wait. I mean, does it suck that I can't go out to Seattle and, hang out with my girlfriend or hang out with my with my boys and all that stuff, have a guys' night out or go see the games and all that stuff. Yes, I mean it sucks, but guess what? I could deal with it. And seeing all these people sit there and protest for something this stupid, now you're gonna go back and how you gonna tell your kids, the next generation, what you did, or even if you live to tell them that if you don't get this disease. It's crazy to me. But then again, that one word that everybody hates to hear, privileged. I wish I was that privileged. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just wish I was that privileged. I mean, you can take it for any way. Anybody can take it any way how I said it, but privilege. Because I know for a fact
privilege don't exist.
Because I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not even gonna say 100. I'm gonna keep it $300. If anybody that looks like us that was protesting the same thing, we all probably be in the body bag right now. Body bag or in jail. I could care less if anybody don't agree with me or say like, oh, that's ludicrous and all that stuff. You have not spent a day in my shoes. And even for people that look like us that sit there and say, come on, you got to get out that slave, that victim mentality. It's not a victim mentality. It's knowing my surroundings. It's me knowing that even if I can walk the wrong way, just a little bit. And you can really see how people really are around you, which goes back to what Teach was saying. You can say the wrong things, knowing that is wrong. And they're gonna show you, and they're gonna put you in your place, basically. They're gonna remind you who you really are. And seeing these protests happening and all that stuff, it's just like you criticize Kaepernick, you criticize us even when we peacefully, and I'm using that term loosely, peacefully protest as y'all see in y'all eyes, and we still go ignore it. But y'all, it's justified. And what you got the anything else you want to put on here since you join back in?
No, not right now, man.
Okay. All right. It's 8:00 over here, and that is the show. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Teach. Thank you, Bragg. Thank you, Woodard. I will let y'all know when we can do something like this. I think this is very informative. I do need a cast around me so I can spread the wealth, so we can spread the wealth of our knowledge and also come to solution, have people understand it from our neck of the woods. So I will let y'all know when we're gonna do another show. You already know the deal, man. We did a show together before, so you already know the deal. Teach, we did a show before. You already know the deal. Bragg, you're new, but don't worry, I got you. But before I go, I still got to go here and lean to you, Teach. I tried to get to your own show, and we was both in similar situations and all that stuff, which I would not say out there to the public, but we was going through it. And I thought about you the other week. I was like, you know what? My platform is good. I wish she could come on the show, and damn it, you came on Wednesday. I said, I gotta get her on. I gotta get her on because I did her wrong, even though I tried. And guess what? I got you.
You
now.
did
You
me
ain't going
wrong.
nowhere. Yeah, I felt like I did you wrong. I felt like
I don't remember.
But
I don't remember anything like that. But I thank you for being persistent. I could see where you utilize the critical analysis that I taught you in the class. So that makes me feel good. So just more grease to your elbows. Just more grease to your elbows. Then to know everything has a time and a season. Even when a seed is planted, it does not immediately germinate. Sometimes it's in the ground for a year or two or even longer before it'll bud. So just know that the seed is planted and watch yourself grow.
Thanks so much, Teach. But yeah, Bragg, I'm gonna get you in tune with this, man. I'm telling you, I believe you. I already feel like you're gonna be a heavy hitter on this show. So I will, like I said, I will let you know when we're gonna go live and all that stuff. And I think, you know, using this platform right here, but I gotta find a different name to the show. I think exclusively piss. I think that's kind of yeah, a little bit immature. So I'm gonna keep that as my exclusive content. But once again, I want to thank each and one of y'all for tuning into the show. For everybody who's watching right now, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to tell everybody, your friends, your mom, your grandmas, everybody about this show, because I think we on the birth on something and we got a little bit of momentum. And so once again, thank you, Nia Job. Thank you, Alan Bragg. Thank you, Jason Woodard. And for all y'all have a good time. Have a good night. Please stay safe. Social distancing. Please don't be like those protesters. Even if you agree with the protesters, don't go out there and sacrifice your life. Please don't. Any final words? Any final thoughts?
Just be safe.
Thank you.
Don't run around with your head chopped off, Morris.
hey, look here, man. Look, I stay safe, okay? All right. But once again, everybody, catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one once again. Thank y'all for tuning in. I am out.
right,
So y'all have a good night and stay safe.
Right.